Hey moms, welcome to the Mom Mindset Show where we talk all things mom life from A to Z. I'm your host, Rachel Benson. I'm a wife, a mom of 6, a grandma of 7, a real estate agent, and a life coach for moms. I've been through every age and stage of motherhood, and I've never met one I didn't like. I've also never met one that didn't come with its share of challenges and personal growth. As moms, we set the mood and tone of the home. We're the emotional support and the cheerleaders for everyone in the house, not to mention the cook, the chauffeur, and the housekeeper. There's a lot to know and do, and that's what I'm here to help with. I want to help you create the home and family life of your dreams, and I do that not only by helping you with the skill set, but more importantly, the mindset that can really help you succeed as a mom. Thanks for being here. Let's talk about what's on your mind today. Hey moms, welcome to the podcast. I'm so glad you're here. I hope that you are enjoying the holidays. If this is when you're listening to this is when I'm recording it and putting it out is Christmas season of 2023. And I am one of those people that has a strict limit on how long the Christmas decorations can be up. They don't go up before Thanksgiving has to end, and then they come down pretty much right after Christmas as soon as I can get away with it. And I love Christmas decorating and the beautiful feeling it brings into the house, but I like to keep it special by keeping it limited in time. And I got all my Christmas put up this year, and I looked at it and I was like, this is kind of a lot because I do everything in one room, and I've kind of gathered more and more decorations that I like. And now I look at it and I'm like, this room has probably 5 different focal points. And in decorating, really less can be more. So maybe I'll spread some of it out throughout the house or whatever. Whatever your style, whatever your taste, whatever your preferences, it's all good. Listen to that Christmas music starting on November 1st if you want. And if it brings you joy, I say do it. There's too many expectations that people put on others during the holidays. And I say we all just enjoy it the best way for us. So let's get to the podcast. I have something I'm really excited to talk to you about today. I wonder if when you read the description of the podcast or the title, Gratitude for 2024, if you thought I'd mix that up somehow, but I didn't. We are going to talk about what you could create that you would have to be grateful for next year when the holidays and particularly Thanksgiving season rolls around. You might be thinking, like, how could I plan right now to have something to be grateful for when I don't know what's going to happen in 2024? But the truth is, you can decide right now that there are some things that you want to create in the coming year. And I'm not really talking about like goal setting necessarily. I'm just talking about thinking ahead, future planning, thinking about the future version of you and what you want to do and create in spite of all the other circumstances that will happen in your life in 2024. We'll get more into that specifically in a little bit here, but first I want to talk about the importance of gratitude, which I think is getting pretty widely known. I think we've all heard of the practice and maybe even tried the practice of gratitude journaling. And there are other gratitude practices that can really bring so many benefits. There are so many benefits associated with gratitude habits and practices like journaling, like writing thank you notes and things like that. Here's just a few of the benefits of gratitude. People have reported increased happiness and feelings of well-being and having more positive emotions like joy and optimism. People through gratitude practices have experienced reduction in symptoms of depression and anxiety. People report better quality sleep, even lower blood pressure. There's just so many wonderful benefits of gratitude. But I think I probably don't have to tell you the research if you've experienced just the feelings of expressing gratitude. I'm sure you kind of know what I mean, but it's also cool to know that research backs up our experience, right? It's been said that gratitude makes what we have enough, and I love that saying, and I totally agree with it. I know that when I am feeling gratitude and expressing gratitude, I just feel an inner sense of peace and contentment that really is like nothing else. And I had a couple experiences this holiday season of hearing expressions of gratitude and just reflecting on how good that feels. One of them was with a group of girls I teach in church. We were doing a little Thanksgiving activity, and I just asked everyone, what do you feel grateful for? And, I heard a lot of the same things and some different things, family, friends, um, talents and activities that they enjoy, um, physical things like material possessions that they have. And I stopped and I said to them, can you feel the feeling in this room when we start expressing our gratitude? Isn't that such a wonderful feeling? And same thing when my family came over for Thanksgiving dinner. I think a lot of families have a practice of somehow expressing gratitude, but normally ours is with our extended family, and we haven't really necessarily done that. So there were just 13 of us with um, 5 of my grandkids there and their parents and our other kids. And we went around the table and expressed something that we were grateful for. And there were just different things. One of my son, who's a ballroom dancer, said he's so grateful for dance and the friends that he's made in dance. And another son said he's so grateful to have a job that he likes and where they pay him enough for him to have a decent life. And that was a long time in coming for him. That really is something to be grateful for. He has a lot of talents, but it took him a long time to find a job that was really a good fit for him and where he has freedom and flexibility to be as artistic and creative as he is. And even the little kid said, I'm grateful for mommy and daddy and different things like that. And it was so sweet, and it just created the best feeling in the room. I had 2 that I shared. One was being grateful for the things that I've learned this past year. I love learning, and just as I continue to learn new things, that just makes me so happy, and I'm grateful that I took the effort to learn new things this past year. And my other one was just feeling extremely grateful for my husband and the relationship that we have, and especially over the last year because we became empty nesters since about last Thanksgiving or the start of last school year. And our relationship has grown stronger and deeper and better. And I just think, wow, this phase of life would be really difficult if that relationship was strained. Any of those things. And if you had significant hard things that happened last year, and those just come right to the forefront of your mind, and it's hard to think about the, things that you feel grateful for, that is totally understandable. And I know that there's always good that comes with the bad and the difficult. And um, there are always reasons to be happy and to smile and to be grateful. And so I hope maybe you can set that aside and look past that for a minute and think about some of the really good things that you feel grateful for. It can be things that you're grateful to yourself for, like showing up every day as a mom. And, maybe I assume you're listening to this podcast because you want to get some more ideas about how you can enjoy mom life more and be the best version of your mom self. Maybe you completed some projects. Maybe you developed some new good habits, or got rid of some bad ones, or accomplished a goal, or just kept showing up even when things were really hard at some points during the year. There's so much to be grateful for to yourself for, and then there's other people and God and just so much that we can look at and just feel that wonderful feeling of gratitude and thankfulness for. A couple more of mine, when I think back on the last year, I feel so grateful that I was able to start this podcast. It's amazing, this world we live in, where there's no barriers to doing something like this except like your own crippling sense of insecurity, and also the learning curve of learning all the skills of podcasting and writing good content and then putting it out there and sharing it. Like, it's a lot. And I'm grateful that I was able to do it. And like learn the skills and get myself to actually do it. And I'm grateful for those of you that have listened and just given me support, said I shared an episode or I really liked that episode or I got this out of it. Like that has meant so much to me. I'm so grateful we got to go to Hawaii 2 times last year. Like that was just the best and one of the highlights of my year, and got to travel to some other awesome places too. Um, we navigated some new parenting territory for us, and it's been a challenge and a really, really good experience in a lot of ways, and brought our family closer in a lot of ways. Another one for me, and I'll just finish up with this one. I'm really grateful I managed to sell some real estate in the last, um, worst market since 2006, or like the 2006 to 2008 recession. Grateful I could help my clients. Grateful that I had clients that came to me because it is a way, way, way down year. So I'm grateful for what did happen and the success I had, and grateful to be able to show up and pivot and change strategies and tactics and figure out what works in the current market. So with that, I hope some things have come to mind for you too. And now I want to move into talking about 2024 and what you want to create that you can be grateful for next year. Just ask yourself this question: what do I want to be grateful for next year? So I have a few ideas for you. They're kind of categories of things that I want to suggest that are totally within your control. So it's so important to me to remember and to remind you that like we can't control anything outside of us that happens in the world. I think we all learned that in a big way in 2020, but we learn that every day in life. Like we can't control what other people think, feel, say, do, any of that, but we can control what goes on within us and the efforts that we put forth to be the best version of ourselves, to show up for ourselves, to show up for our families. So here are the 3 categories of things that I'm going to suggest, and then I'll get into a few specifics. You could, in 2024, develop some new habits to be grateful for. All of us could also set some goals that we could be grateful to have accomplished. And another one that's kind of different, a little harder to measure, is character traits that we want to develop and work on. So let me dig into those a little more specifically. So first of all, if you were going to pick one, I would suggest looking for a daily habit that you can start start now, but keep going through 2024, like something that you want to do every day, possibly for the rest of your life. And these can be really, really simple and small, but still have an amazing compound effect, like compound interest, but, just a compound effect in your life where doing it one day doesn't make a difference. Doing it a week doesn't make a huge difference, although you might start to feel a shift in your life. But doing it over time, especially over a year on repeat, will have a significant impact. So, of course, a lot of things come to mind with health, like a daily habit of exercising, even if it's just something sort of quick. My sister in 2021 committed to walking a mile a day, no matter what. And I think she said she's missed a day or two here or there when the weather was just, she just wasn't going out there. But she said it has just been a habit that she continues to this day, and she absolutely loves it. Something small like eating one fruit and one vegetable every day sounds so simple, but there have been days when I have paid attention to whether I actually do that, and there are occasional days when I don't get in one fruit or one vegetable, or maybe like half a banana in my smoothie at breakfast or something. And so bringing intention to it, even if it's something that you more or less do, but just making sure that you do it, will pay those dividends. I want to tell you about one I started about a month or so ago that I never would have believed I could establish as a daily habit. I'm going to do a whole podcast on money coming up, so I'm going to tell you this really quick. Basically, I started transferring $20 a day from my checking account to my savings account. Even if I were to end up transferring it back, which I haven't needed to, more or less, that's not in my budget. Like if you ask me, can you save an extra $600 a month? I'd be like, no. But through doing it this daily way, and there's a longer story to this, but I have actually saved over $700 additional dollars that I would have never thought I could. And I am literally going to keep that habit for the rest of my life. Maybe at some point I'll be able to do more than 25, but I love it. And it's been such a huge benefit and helped me do kind of the impossible by doing it in small daily increments. Another one my sister mentioned is that she started meal planning like during the pandemic, in the sense of not as much like we're going to have this on Monday and we're going to have this on Tuesday, but like figuring out what they like to eat and just getting those things on hand, because she wanted to stay out of stores. She didn't want to get food delivery or takeout. And she has found so many benefits of this. Like she's like, we have saved money. We're eating better. We have less food waste. She's being more creative with what she can do with what she has on hand. And so she's found so many benefits of just that daily habit of, planning and then cooking her own food. And isn't meal planning one of those things that we all know we should totally do? And I bet a lot of you are amazing at that. Honestly, that is one habit I haven't mastered, although lately I have been better about at least planning the coming day. So, and that is so nice to just like, okay, I know what I'm going to eat. I don't waste any time at lunchtime. But me and my sister were joking about how the hardest thing about adulting is like making dinner and all your other meals besides like cereal for breakfast for the whole rest of your life, right? Who's with me on that? Let me tick off a couple others that are really easy and fun and will give you like a hit of dopamine just to get your brain going, and then you find your own. Of course, there's like drinking water. And again, that sounds so basic that we almost want to dismiss it. Like, I know I should drink more water, but anything that we measure, anytime progress is measured, performance improves. So if we start saying, actually, how many glasses of water am I drinking a day, and like tracking that, it will increase your water consumption. Anytime you bring that awareness to what you're doing, you can improve. And again, drinking water, it's like the number one best health habit there is. And I consider myself a pretty good water drinker, but when I track it, it's hard even for me to get to my 8 cups. Like, I feel like I have water and an IV drip, and I still, when I actually measure it, not quite where I want to be. So just keep that in mind. I know a lot of my kids, I know a lot of people who do like a daily Duolingo practice, and they have so much fun with it, and they laugh, and sometimes they send to the family chat some of the silly phrases that has them doing Spanish or Italian or Russian, whatever language they're practicing, and it's like a bonding thing in our family. I'm not doing it myself, but that could be a fun one to start. Like things that are fun, things you look forward to, not like I would be a better person if I washed all the dishes every night before bed, like do something that you enjoy and that you'll really get a kick out of, like, hey, I did this, and get a sense of fulfillment and satisfaction. Another daily habit that I've developed that I never thought I would, and it's just for fun, is doing the daily New York Times. They have a mini crossword, and they have a game called Wordle where you have to figure out a 5-letter word that they, it's like a secret word. Anyway, so fun. And a bunch of my family members also do that. So we share our results every day. And I mean, I don't have that in a habit tracker or anything, but it's just become a fun daily practice and a chance to just connect with my family. So anything that you can think of like that gives you just a chance for a positive interaction with family or friends, awesome. Totally do that. I'm going to attach a simple habit tracker to the notes in this podcast that you can just print out for the whole year. And, so I invite you to just use that and just contemplate something fun and something new that you could do um, or improve upon for next year. So the next thing I want to talk about is goals. You know, goals are awesome. Goals are usually way out in the future, or at least a few months out in the future. So our motivation is usually found in the short term. So keeping motivation over a long term for goals can be kind of challenging. And sometimes we find ourselves discouraged and maybe giving up. And that's where like establishing a daily habit that leads to a goal can really, really help. Any goal that you've got that you could break down into a daily practice or almost daily will be so much easier to accomplish. Like I said, if I keep going on this $20 a day, I'm going to save $7,500 extra dollars that I would not have saved if I was just like, what can I squeeze out of my budget? I don't know if it will all stay in there, but my goal is really to save $75,000 in 10 years. And but by breaking that down into what does that break down to in a day? What do I have to do every day to do that? I have found it's so much easier and so much more fun. And I want to tell you about my sister again. She gave me so much good input for this podcast just with a quick phone call because I knew she had been working on some daily habits like her walking and her meal planning and stuff. But another one that she did that I thought was really fun was she had a goal to ride her e-bike every day in June. And she got a new e-bike and she wanted to really incorporate it into her life, kind of because she spent a lot of money on it, but she enjoys it. And it was just something that she wanted to get established. And so she made that goal to go every day in June. And she said she did it all but like 2 days. And she was so committed to that goal that she had this daily habit that she was trying to establish that sometimes she even went for a bike ride at midnight on a warm summer night, or she would think, should I take the car or bike to the store? And she would take her bike. And I love what she said, that it really kind of stretched her to think of new times and ways to accomplish that because she had set that objective and she just absolutely loved it. And so that's the kind of goal I would encourage you to set to have something to be grateful for in 2024. Something fun and inspiring. Like if goals are like things we think we have to do, should do, even our doctor told us to do it to improve our health. Well, maybe you should do those things, but find a way to absolutely enjoy them. And the more you can take that bigger goal and break it down into daily habits that you enjoy, daily practices, you're so much more likely to accomplish that. One of mine that I just want to quickly talk about, it's kind of a habit / goal, but I heard, I don't know, it was a podcast or something in 2020 where someone talked about keeping a daily journal of, they didn't call it a journal. I can't remember what they called it. It will come to me. Anyway, of like the most noteworthy thing that happened that day. I think it came from the book Storyworthy by Matthew Dicks. I think he calls it the most story-worthy thing that happened. And I was like, oh, I like that idea. Just really simple. Just write down one thing. And I just started. I made a spreadsheet. It's really ugly. It's in Google Sheets. It's like date and a line for the thing. And I started out doing it his way of just like writing down the one most noteworthy thing. But as time has gone on, I have added to that. And I just write a lot about my day, like a normal journal. But I'm always kind of looking for like, what's that one thing that was the most noteworthy? And I kind of start there. But it's really been so amazingly beneficial, like in terms of reflecting on my days and not just letting time go and go and go and never pausing to reflect and, seeing what's going well and what was wonderful that day. And I don't do it as a gratitude journal. I also try not to just write a list of things that I did that day. Although sometimes I do because I'm like, wow, I accomplished a lot today. Um, and so I don't know. I've just kept that habit going since 2020, and I have over 1,100 journal entries now, and I have truly established a daily habit. Even if I miss, I'll leave a blank line for the date, and I'll go back and fill in something else, just a thought that I wanted to remember or a quote I heard. Like something is in there every day for the last, gosh, 3.5+ years now. So anyway, if I could tell you one habit that would make a goal to write daily, so establishing that habit, um, journaling would probably be the number one thing that I would suggest to anyone, whether it's a word, a bullet journal, story worthy, noteworthy, you know, kind of thing that's just really simple, or if you want to go all in and write about all your emotions and all the events that happen, whatever you want to do, no matter how basic it is, like my basic journal in a spreadsheet works for me, but there's journaling apps, there's, pen and paper, of course. I'm terrible with paper, so I don't do the journal and paper. But anyway, I don't want to belabor the point, but I do want to encourage that. So the last one I want to talk to you about is developing character traits. Now, this is harder to measure, but the reason I'm bringing this up is because I think we all have certain character traits that if we could work on improving in some areas of our lives, we would just experience more well-being. One that comes right to mind for me is the practice of patience. And a lot of moms are like, oh, I'm so impatient, and that's how they identify themselves. Whenever we use the words I am, we're really making a statement about our identity. And that's just not true. Like, you're not impatient. And it's the more you tell yourself that, the more your subconscious will respond, and it will help you become even more impatient. And so, first of all, I want to say, find a way to rephrase that. Like, I lose patience when the kids do this. This one thing pushes my buttons is different than saying I'm not very patient. So let's just say you want to develop more patience in your life. The reason I would encourage you to do this is not to benefit your kids, although it will. The reason I would encourage you to do this is because patience feels so good inside of you. I think we're all familiar with the feeling of impatience. Like, for me, I experience that as tightness, tenseness, I want to say like a burning kind of feeling. But lately I've been paying attention to the times that I'm patient when maybe in the past I wouldn't have been. And when people are patient with me, it's so, so nice. And I was in a doctor's office the other day. I'm participating in a flu study, a flu shot study. So it took hours for the first visit, and they were kind of apologizing. They told me it'd be like 3 hours. So I was kind of prepared for that. But in between the people that would come in and draw my blood and finally giving me the shot and asking me the questions and all the things they have to do, there were big gaps of time where I was just kind of sitting there, which was fine. I mean, I have a phone to entertain me, right? But the lady kept saying, oh, thank you for your patience. And I know she appreciated it, and I appreciate her appreciation, but I appreciated it too, because I just took it easy. Like, in the past, that could have made me like, I gotta get out of here. I have things to do. And I did. Like, I had work things happening and offers I needed to process for one of my sellers. But I just took care of it on my phone. I was just like, relax, I'm not going anywhere. I committed to this. And the feeling inside of me of complete calm and patience was priceless. And so I just want to say, do it for you. If you need to be more patient, compassionate, not need to be, those are the wrong words. If you want to be more understanding of others, more patient with them, less critical, less judgmental, more forgiving, all of those things are going to bless you. Like, we don't know whether someone else will even know if you've chosen to forgive and give them the benefit of the doubt. In some circumstances, you will never say those words out loud, like, I forgive you. They might not even know they're doing something that needs forgiveness. But for you, it will bring peace of mind. So if there's a quality of character that you feel that you are lacking, like, do it for you. Think about what that would look like. Think about what specific situations cause you to get tense, frustrated, just not show up at your best. One that I've worked on is hurrying, because maybe this is a statement, like I was saying, like an identity statement, but I tend to get just run a little bit behind schedule a lot of times. And in the last few years, I have shown up on time a lot more punctual, but I'm not there yet. Old habits die hard, and I'm not there yet, but I don't worry about it. When I'm running late, I'll send a text and let someone know I'm coming. Just happened yesterday. I was going to a class and, I was like, hey, I'm on my way. And then I just relax. Like, hurrying does not make me get anywhere faster and it makes me so tense. And I show up embarrassed that I'm late, and I'm just like, I'm doing the best I can. And if it bothers them, I feel bad. I apologized. What else can I do? And I keep working on this, and I hope other people are patient with me when that's not my strong suit, is being on time. But I do show up. I always show up. If I say I will be somewhere, I will be somewhere. And if I say I'll do something, I will do it. So there is that. So look at your good qualities that you have and look at where you think you want to improve, and just have fun with it again, and just notice the improvement inside of you that's almost hard to define. But if you bring awareness to it, you will start to notice the benefits. So that's what I have for you today. Just ask yourself, what do I want to be grateful for in 2024? And let's start now. No need to start until after the new year. Get that habit tracker in the notes and find something you want to start doing, a goal you want to set, an improvement in, I hate to say your character, but I can't think of a better way, to say it. So thank you for listening. I hope this has inspired you and helped you to contemplate some things that you could, improve on. And again, I'm so careful about my language, because I know that moms sometimes never feel like they're doing enough or being enough or patient enough or drinking enough water or it goes on and on. So please don't approach this. That's not my intent. That is not the approach. I want you to take a joyful approach to any improvements that you want to make. Do it for you, because it will improve your life, your sense of well-being, and you can experience all the benefits of gratitude, not just next year at Thanksgiving, but all along the way. See you next week. Hey Mama, thanks for listening to the show today. If you enjoy the ideas I share on my podcast, but you want some help applying them to your personal situation, I want to invite you to learn more about my coaching program, where I talk to moms on a personal basis through one-on-one coaching and group calls. We can talk about anything from the personal challenges that you're experiencing in marriage or motherhood to the goals and dreams that you have for yourself. To find out more and download a copy of my free book, Mom Mindset A to Z, visit mom-mindset.com. I'd love to see you there.